You must be very pleased to look at
I am.
how the maps are used from elementary all the way up through high school.
I've seen tremendous growth.
Mm-hmm.
And not only of the students, but also of the staff, with their level of acceptance of the program, the way they've integrated and their ability to apply it. Because when people get comfortable with something, they are then more willing to take risks and to think outside the box. They have gone and used the maps in ways that are so different, and they come up with so many different creative ideas, even to the point where when we have field day for our kids, you know, the consistency is in such place that it's permeated our whole program. And even when we have field trips, even when the kids are at lunch, even when they're at a field day, even when everywhere, you know, the thinking maps are in place. The other thing that's been very satisfying is seeing the level to which the kids have taken it and to which they've integrated into their personal lives, and their cognitive development has really grown. Their writing has grown. You know, children who used to come here and write sentences or a paragraph are now writing multi-page essays because of the ability to organize their thoughts and to structure them and to prioritize them. Children are no longer afraid to take the MCAS exam. When I first started here, the counselors would have to deal with significant meltdowns. Children crawling in the corner of a room, curled up, crying, you know, whatever. It was a wide range of responses. It was so stressful for them to face the open response questions, because they would see this, describe how, you know, significant events of a book have shaped a character's response, and the kids would just be like, oh my God, what do I do with this?
Yes.
They wouldn't know what to do, so they would melt down. They would also write these responses in their books that were sometimes inappropriate, but we left them so that the test takers could see these are the kids' responses. This is their response to stress. Now, it's amazing, their responses. Children draw thinking maps. We obviously can't help them with the test, but we can cue them. If a child starts getting upset, we'll say, well, think about what you were told in class, because we really prepare the kids in advance.
Sure.
And the kids will say, my teacher told me to draw a thinking map. Okay, then. And so the child all of a sudden has a strategy ready that they know, that they're fluent with, that's in place. Not only has it helped our kids academically, but it's helped them emotionally. The MCAS is huge. They have to have a passed test in order to graduate. And the focus of our kids' lives here at Learning Prep, it's changed from the acquisition of knowledge to getting that diploma. We have our goals in place: gradual release of responsibility, gaining independence, being able to accomplish tasks. For these kids, it is important for them to be able to graduate. Passing the MCAS has become paramount for them. And the maps have empowered them to be able to do what they need to do to get a score that is enough for them to pass. And we did not have that in place before thinking maps.
There's been growth in the percentage of students that have passed the MCAS over, what was it before the maps, if you can
Before
make
the
that
maps,
kind of
on the
comparison?
average, it was about 5 kids that would pass, about 20, 25 kids that would fail. You're talking at least 20, 25% of the kids that would pass. But you have at least now 50% of the kids passing. In some years, we've had 80, 90% of the kids pass. Prior to thinking maps, we never had children score a 3 or 4. The range of scoring is 0 to 4. 0 representing, you know, a lack of an essay, a blank response. 4 would represent a cohesive, well-developed essay. Before thinking maps, we didn't have a single 4. We have had a good substantial increase in 3s and 4s. Not only have the kids passed the MCAS, but it's really improved their cognitive development. These kids have been able to take open response questions. They've been helpful even for pre-writing tasks, for expounding sentences, for adding significant detail. Prior to thinking maps, our children wrote simple sentences. Now they're able to, with a lot of structure and scaffolding in place and using the maps, they're able to write complex and compound sentences.
The faculty here has done so much. How have they grown from sort of novice users introduced to an innovation to now, it seems, fully incorporating it into what they do?
The first year, the teachers would say, I have to plan a lesson around a thinking map. For them, it would be, I have so much to do. I have curriculum I have to cover. I have to prepare for MCAS. I have all these things I have to do. It's not that they were resistant. They recognized the value, but it was just very overwhelming for them. And they felt the need to plan a formal lesson around a thinking map. They didn't quite see that the thinking maps complemented what they were already doing. Now they've realized that with the thinking maps, they're more embedded within their lessons, especially our more seasoned teachers who have been using them for at least 2-3 years. They recognize that they can be talking about, say, the three branches of government,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't need to plan a formal, strict lesson around
Right.
a tree map to categorize.
And we saw that they can just do it
Exactly.
on their own.
The fact that they're so flexible, the teachers love that. Now I think it's just become part of their teaching vocabulary, their repertoire.
First, just describe
Mm-hmm.
the communities from the students, how they come to Learning Prep.
We service over 140 different communities and towns throughout Massachusetts.
And what are some of those needs? Just sort of, what's a range of
Well,
Asperger's to...
It could be Asperger's, language-based learning disability. All of our children have that. Learning Prep has a holistic program that we've designed that completely services the child, which really gives us an edge over many other schools. We have a complete OT department that offers pre-vocational skills and skill development that's transferable to other areas. Academic, emotional, social pragmatics is woven throughout the whole program. The level at which they're performing, if they're visual learners, if they're auditory learners, if it's a mix of both.
And the thinking maps work across all of those
Absolutely.
areas? Even those with visual perceptual
Absolutely,
problems?
yes. You can definitely customize the maps to work with a wide range of abilities for the children.
You made a presentation to the doctors, their neurologists, about how some students were referred here and the doctors were very interested in the thinking maps and how they work here at Learning Prep.
A lot of our children are referred here, and in their neuropsych evals, you know, word got out. Thinking maps are really helping my child. These children would go to their doctors and say, you know, when they're in a neuropsych eval, you know, thinking maps are helping me. Or they would hear from the parents, you know, this is something, you know, that our school uses. I got a call from Dr. Janice Ware at Children's Hospital, who invited me to present to a team of neurologists. There were about 25 or 30 of them there. I just did presentation to them, an overview of the theory behind thinking maps and why they work. And they were so incredibly impressed. And these are doctors that do neuropsychs on our children. And they just wanted to know, what are these and why are they working? You know, from their children that have gone to them that have noted cognitive growth. It's something that's so important for all our kids, regardless of whatever their disability is. Having the structure, the routine, the direct teaching methods. Thinking maps fit right into that. These kids, thinking maps fit into that because they know this is what we're doing. Oh, thinking map, great, I got it. So it just really complements everything that we do here, all the strategies that we use. Telling the kids, this is what you're going to be doing. And this is what you're doing, you know, while you're doing the task. And then afterwards, okay, what did we just do and why?
And you must be very pleased to look at
I am.
how the maps are used from elementary all the way up through high school.
I've seen tremendous growth. And not only of the students, but also of the staff, with their level of acceptance of the program, the way they've integrated and their ability to apply it.